Hey, everybody, welcome to the 15th episode of Give Me Back My Action Movies, the podcast. I'm your host, Charlie, and with me, as always, is Dan.
Hi everyone, how are you tonight? It's weird being in the passenger seat, but I like it. This is nice. I don't have to drive. I can take a nap. I can check the internet. Oh gosh, I can't read and drive. I'll get sick. Oh no. I hate that part.
And you just
Charlie,
kind of
take it.
you just kind of ran with that, didn't you, bud?
Well, yeah, I was in the passenger seat, so just thought, I would just
Yeah,
my improv classes are really paying off.
I'd still get a refund. Anyway, as you may hear, Charlie's in the driver's seat tonight. And why, you may ask? Well, we have the next phase of Give Me Back My Action, the podcast. We're going to be doing Give Me Back My Horror Movies, the podcast. And we have a special guest tonight for that. Say hello to the world, Nate.
Why, hello, everyone. How are we doing? Oh,
They,
wait,
s-
you can't answer that.
they said they're doing fine, Nate. I have
They're doing really good.
everyone that listens is on my laptop, and all five said hi. So we're
Nice.
good on that. So, yeah, as I said, we are going to be starting a new phase in the Give Me Back My franchises, and we're going into the horror section next. And Dan is not as big into the horror movies, wouldn't you say, Dan?
No, no, I'm not. Now, don't get me wrong. When I was younger, I saw the Nightmare on Elm Street, original franchise. Sleepaway Camp, I guess, and Slumber Party Massacre, and Chud, and Critters, and stuff like that. But no, I'm not much of a horror fan or a slasher fan per se. So you guys are going to drive that one,
Yep. We'll
and
be
yeah.
driving that big freight train. And Nate, on the other hand,
Or would you call it a midnight meat train?
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of
that
corpses
was
on this
that was
train.
that was a good reference. I'll give
Yeah,
that.
see, I get them occasionally. I just don't really watch the films
And
as
for
much.
those of you that know, we do this podcast and we're on our phones through Messenger so we can video and see each other. And Nate has built his nerd cave, and it is most predominantly horror movies. Is that right, Nate?
That is correct. Like, directly behind me, across my entire entertainment stand, is nothing but ash figures from the Evil Dead. To the left of me, we've got Leatherface, we've got Hellboy, the Predator, Carrie. Directly in front of me, I've got Leatherface, I've got more Hellboy, a lot of Hellboy. And then, like, my whole room is just filled with just different horror or different, like, metal and just anything dark and gross. And it's
Well,
exactly what I want. It's my baby, and I'm so happy.
then I'd say that that classifies as a qualification, wouldn't you say, Dan?
Yeah, when you first came up with this idea to do this, and you were like, I'm going to have Nate, and I'm like, yeah, that's because Nate's fairly sick and twisted, but kind of in a Boy Scout kind of way. He's the kind of guy that you see him and you're like, oh, he looks like a nice dude. He's like, yeah, hi everybody, I'm Nate, and then he goes home and watches like 12 hours of slasher movies.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
And
pretty much.
while I while I am predominantly a horror or action movie fanatic, there's not much difference between an action movie and a horror movie. I think it all just comes down to some lighting, some music changes, and whether you have a kick-ass mask or something on whenever you're trying to kill everyone. I think the kill counts sometimes are more on my side of the spectrum for action movies than horror movies, but I think they're a good blend. And it looks like our group agrees. We've been growing in numbers again on our group on the Facebook page. The horror one is completely taken off. The action one is still going strong, still holding a slim lead. That's my baby. That's the one I tuck it in at night. Before I check it all every day. But no, I think it's going to be great. A little variety to the show. And here's the good news: it's not another show you're going to have to click on. It's not another podcast you're going to have to download. It's going to be on this feed. If you don't like horror movies, you can skip it. It's not a big deal. Um, but we hope you do listen to it. And this is going to be some of the same flavors, um, some of the same format that we do with slight little tweaks and changes. But I'm looking forward to it. Nate, you looking forward to it, brother?
Oh, I definitely am. And even like to point out like how you're like, oh, the body count in horror movies versus action movies. Like sometimes even in horror movies, it's going for like that quality over quantity. So sometimes you get that like kill that's like, yeah, that I
Oh,
remember. That I
yeah.
really just dug. And like I even like when put on a movie and it's like, all right, there's 7 people in the main like group. It's like, all right, well, I'm probably gonna get a body count of like 6 in this movie and that's all right, but at least these 6 are really gonna count for it, because
Oh,
usually
absolutely.
9 times out of 10, that 7th one's gonna survive, and even though there's sometimes I'm rooting for him, and there's other times I'm like, "Oh, this person sucks."
But
Well,
go ahead, Dan.
no, I was just going to say I'm going to leave this for you guys to do on your inaugural show, but
Oh yeah.
as a tease, I will throw out the most memorable kill from a horror movie that I remember because I'm not going to be on the show necessarily. So I'll throw mine out real quick, and then it'll be a tease to hear what Charlie and Nate's is. So to tune into the show. Mine though is, and this is how bad of a horror person I am. I don't even know exactly which Friday the 13th movie this is from, but I remember, and I'm probably going to get this wrong. I'm blending 2 different scenes or something in my head, but the people were at like a farm, and there was someone swinging on a rope out of the hay loft of the barn,
Okay, yeah.
and then
Part 3.
you part 3, okay, and then you walk in, and like they're stuck to the support beam basically with a pitchfork.
Yeah, I'm
Does that
pretty
sound
sure
right?
that
Is
yeah,
that
Yeah, I'm
right?
fairly certain.
it
Okay.
might be 2 different kills, but that is the same movie.
Yeah, it's
Right,
definitely
that's what I was, yeah, my head, I'm like, "What," and then they twing right into the
Isn't
thing.
3 also the not Jason one though?
No, that's 5. That's a
5
new
is the not.
beginning, because
Yeah.
the 4th one is where, like, they had, like, little 4-year-old Corey Feldman in it, who
Ah, yeah, I
defeats
remember that.
Jason, basically.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, see, you guys have lost me already.
the
No,
5th one was, like, them going, "Oh, the 4th one made a ton of money. We can keep milking this bad boy."
that was the
And
psychic
then,
one, I think the 5th one was. Wasn't that New Beginning or something like that?
the 5th one was just like a janitor or some shit like that. And then
Friday the 13th,
they
Jason's a
instantly
janitor, gotta get a
realized
day
everyone
job.
wants Jason, kinda like with Halloween 3, where people are like, Where's Michael? I don't care about kids getting killed with masks, even though it's totally sweet." What they end up doing was, like, with part 6 going, "You know what makes sense? Zombie Jason. Let's just bring him back from the dead, because
Well,
screw
I'm
it."
down. I'm
you know what
down.
you guys have taught me already, that all 80s classic horror villains have to get day jobs eventually. You got a janitor now, you got,
And
Michael Myers had to go work at a Chick-fil-A or a
He had the
they have
jumpsuit
to be
too,
really
so,
good at
you know.
cardio.
Popeyes. Yeah.
But what
Yeah,
I was
exactly.
gonna point out on the action movie front was the scene in Commando. There is a total, like, switch Jason in the place of Arnold Schwarzenegger when he's in the tool shed,
Hmm.
throwing the circle saw blade at the dude and cutting his head off, chopping the other guy's arm off with a machete,
And he swings
stabbing
out of the swings out of the top of it and hits him in the chest with an axe,
with
and
an axe.
yeah, yeah.
That's an action movie,
Yeah,
and
that
all you got
is.
to do is put a hockey
Put a
mask
mask on
on
him.
Schwarzenegger and let him go to town. But
Instead of killing kids, he's killing bad guys. Yeah, that's the only difference. Yep.
what we're gonna do now? Let's get into, as everyone can see on the title, I wanted to come up with a movie that kind of blended the two. And there's quite a few movies out there that are horror and action movie related. This one goes a little bit deeper for us. We started the Give Me Back My Action Movie show on a Chuck Norris canon film. I kind of wanted to start the horror one in the same vein. So it just made sense to do a Chuck Norris canon horror action movie. And believe it or not, there's like 3 that we could pick from.
Yep.
Most people know Silent Rage, um, the Hero and the Terror, both excellent movies. But one that stuck out to us, and for some odd reason, none of us had seen. I'm going to go on record saying I
Yeah.
have not.
I didn't even heard of
Definitely have
it.
never seen it.
I I know I've seen the cover because the cover looks like the cover of Hitman, with also has Chuck Norris. They're almost identical. But none of us had ever seen Hellbound. And when I read the description, Chuck Norris fights a demon from hell who's on a mission for Satan. I was sold. then the final nail in the coffin was, this is the last canon movie ever produced by the company.
So it was the final nail in the coffin.
It really was.
Literally.
So it just made perfect sense to do this crossover episode of sorts, Chuck Norris and Hellbound. So we're going to go ahead and jump into the trailer, and we're going to start dissecting this. I don't even know what we should call this movie, but we'll wait till after the trailer at least.
In the name of fear, hate, and destruction, I prepare to anoint my spirit with this royal blood, forged in the fires of hell. So, Reinhardt, you think to deny my destiny? Banished from the sight of man. Now, he has crossed into our world to reclaim his power. I know what you are, and I know why you are here. Chuck Norris is Shatter, bound to uncover more than a secret.
Please. The man that was murdered last night on Polanski Street was a rabbi.
There's 8 dead bodies in here. 8 holy men. Bound to bring back more than a killer.
According to the myth, the scepter was broken into 9 sections.
What kind of man kills like this? We'll know soon enough.
Bound to face the most terrifying enemy he has ever known.
The scepter is the key to the gates of hell. Who was it that ripped the heart right out of his chest?
Have you any idea who I am? Let me introduce myself. Welcome to hell. Chuck Norris, Hellbound.
I was sold on that on this movie the second I played that trailer.
What a trailer.
Oh my god. Trailer voice guy, Chuck Norris and a demon, and what more could you ask for?
Welcome to hell. Like, you get that, like, venom. Like, yeah.
Can I just express that I love the fact that his name is Shatter?
Oh, the
Oh,
best action movie
Because-
name ever.
Every time they would say it, I'm like, he took a shat. He's a shatter.
Frank Shatter.
and then his
Yeah.
partner's just Jackson. What a, like, token partner name.
I called him Axon Jackson Light the entire time I watched it with Jackie.
It was hard for me to remember because the actor that's in that plays Jackson is Calvin Levels, and he is from Adventures in Babysitting.
Yep. Yeah.
So every time I'd see him, I was trying to like going, what's the Adventures from Babysitting pimp killer guy that was trying to jack the car dude? What's he doing in this movie? But
I think
yeah,
he was asking himself that the entire time he was filming this movie.
He's like, this is a long way from Cleveland, Ohio. What am I doing here?
Yeah, I like to think that he was doing this movie halfway through. He went, "What the? Well, it's a paycheck. Yeah, all right, I'll do this."
Oh, it was a
Yeah.
paycheck.
Yeah,
It was
he
probably
like,
the
Chuck
last
Norris is-
paycheck that Cannon signed off too, as a matter of fact.
More, yeah. I'd say that's correct, sir. I definitely would say that's correct. But yeah, this is
also known for playing the head of Jamal in 8 Heads in a Duffel Bag. So for other fans out there,
yeah. I haven't seen that movie in forever. I mean,
It's been
I have
years.
vague memories of that movie.
yeah. Well, Pesci and a bunch of heads. I mean, you can't.
Yeah.
There was 8 in that bag, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty sure there was
Has
8.
to be.
Unlike
yeah,
the 9 holy men that had to die in this movie.
8
was
names,
great.
8 holy men. So
Yep.
anyway, yeah, that's the trailer for Hellbound. And again, like I said, Charlie brought this up. I'm like, I've never even heard of this movie. I don't know what it is.
When Charlie
And,
brought it up to me, like, I want to do Hellbound, I was like, oh, cool. We're going to do Hellraiser 2. He's like, no, we're going to do Chuck Norris. And I was like, I don't remember Chuck Norris being in Hellraiser 2, but that sounds cool.
I know. I was like, Hellraiser. Lemmy, Motorhead. I could play Motorhead. Okay, yeah, I'm okay
Look,
with this. No, that's not right.
you guys are not wrong, because anytime you try to research this movie, Google goes, "Were you talking about Hellraiser 2, Hellbound Heart?" No, I wasn't. I was talking about Chuck Norris Hellbound. But yeah, I mean, not a lot out there, and what I did find, right in line with what we're going to say about this movie. We haven't really talked about our feelings about this movie yet. Obviously, you can tell I'm
Okay.
excited because it was fun. This movie was a blast to watch. Um, it's not good in the sense of an action movie, but it was an absolute blast, and I spent $5 on Amazon to buy it, and I am not upset that I did.
By the way, at the time of this drop and this release, you can watch it free on YouTube if you look it up, because that's how I consumed it.
I had
Which-
already spent the $5, and I was gonna yell at Charlie like I want my $2 back because I was gonna rent it. And I was like, all right, I'll spend the extra 3. And I was like, I'm cool with that.
Nah,
I'm not upset.
it's in
You
the
know what?
collection now, man. It's in the collection.
Yeah. I watched. I'll hit you with the synopsis here real quick in a minute. But I watched it.
Yeah.
I'm going. I'm gonna hate this movie. I'm gonna hate this movie. I'm gonna hate
I
this movie.
I knew.
And you know what?
I
And I'm
knew.
watching it, and I thought about it earlier today, and I'm sitting there going, I can't hate this movie. I
No.
wanted to hate this movie, but I can't.
It's the beauty of canon.
I mean, don't get me wrong. It's the drizzling shits in a lot of ways, but Jackson cracks me up. He just wants to eat. He just wants to eat. Just feed the
That's
guy
all that
something,
man wanted to
please.
do. Chuck Norris
He-
made sure that he did not get to eat.
He cracked me
Oh.
up. Chuck had some of his classic Chuck lines.
Yeah, Chuck
And-
Swagger in this movie,
and
sir.
remind me. I'll talk to you about how I feel about Chuck after
Yeah.
watching this film. But I watched it. And I'm sitting there going, yeah, there's some really bad choices in this movie. But at the end of the day, I was like, but I watched it and went, but I didn't hate watching this.
So yes, there are some bad choices, but when you really look at the movie, you can tell there were some choices made for a reason and why they made it. And we'll get into that more too, because as I'm watching this with Jackie, and I'll have to get into the story with her because this was just gleeful punishment for me to her, is listening to her watch this movie. But let's see. Should I read the opening crawl before the synopsis?
Yeah. So
Let's do that.
Yeah, this movie has an opening crawl a la the Holy Trilogy and the subsequent 6 films. And
Just say Star Wars, dude. We all know
Yeah,
what the
dude.
crawl is.
Yeah,
And
it's
on top
got
of
the
that,
crawl. So
It's got the crawl with like generic music from The Omen.
Oh,
So
yeah.
you get Star Wars and The Omen together.
I try to play a little bit of music from the movies, like towards the end of the show. I tried to look it up, and there was an unreleased song by George S. Clinton.
I saw
And
that he did the music for this.
I was going to try to get it, but I was like, nah, I'm not playing this. It was just,
No.
it sounded like generic 80s fake horror crap music that you'd have on cassette that you'd have got at Spencer's.
So in my mind, when I'm watching it, I'm trying to put like James Earl Jones's voice over it as I'm reading it, like from Conan, and just hoping there was this booming, ominous voice reading it. No, they saved that for the end of the
Yes.
movie.
Yep.
All right, so I'm going to read you guys, to save anyone the pain of actually watching this movie. I will read it to you. The legend says, when time began, the soul of darkness was thrust into the depths. Its evil split from the light of humanity to be called forth in times of weakness and despair. Satan's emissary, Prosantos, would prowl the earth, searing all before him with fire and blood. From the west, a shining knight, beneath the banner of the lion, would come to vanquish and bind him until the chains and holy seals were broken by simple greed-driven men.
He didn't burn a single sumbitch in this movie.
Not that we saw.
He didn't
Yeah,
sear
I mean, that
anybody.
probably happened behind
I
the
also
scenes.
like how the this is like the prophecy. It includes the two dudes that try to steal all the golden daggers at the end when
Yeah.
they release him. Like, they got that specific on the prophecy. They couldn't have thought ahead, going, this may be not the best locking system to keep a demon that buried.
Would have been fine if those guys wouldn't have tried to steal the daggers, because he hadn't gotten it out from the King Richard Crusade era till 1950s.
Yeah, and that's literally what it was. We were watching King Richard.
Are you sure you guys not doing the horror movie already?
You guys
That
heard
was
that?
that was
You heard
legit.
You
thunder,
heard that.
yeah.
That came from outside.
Here, hold on. There you go.
No
Is that
doubt.
helpful?
No doubt. That was eerie too.
Good timing. Good timing.
You summoned Prosantos.
I did.
You say it one more time, he shows up in your mirror like Candyman.
Yeah, don't say it again. It's 5 times for Candyman. Beetlejuice is 3. It's Steven
one.
Seagal.
Oh, no, we're not doing that again.
Dan, you want to run us through the very fast and simple synopsis of this movie?
Very simple synopsis of the movie. Okay, so it starts off with Prosecco. He's trying to kill this baby so he can go back to hell and hang out with Satan, who is not yet cuddled up with Saddam.
Baby of royal blood.
Yes, a royal baby. Yes.
That's important.
So he's trying to pull a Vigo on a baby, but the baby has to be royal. So King Richard, the Lionhearted, shows up with his Knights Templar and a priest and some archers and some other guys from the Renaissance Festival, and they know where to go to catch this dude. So evidently, this child was the prince of King Richard's son. I don't know who that prince is. I didn't study history. So they get to the guy. They can't get through the gate, the portcullis, to get to Prosantos, and as he's trying to jab the baby and kill it and soak the scepter with the royal blood. See, every time I say the name, it does it. I'm not saying the name anymore.
Stop it.
I know. So they shoot him with some arrows. They go in, they stop him or whatever. So they end up stopping this ritual and putting him in a sarcophagus, sealing it with 4 daggers, and then Richard breaks the scepter into 9 bits.
Yeah, there's a scepter apparently that's important.
Correct.
So.
The scepter is then hidden in 9 different holy locations and guarded by holy men, and we're okay until the 1950s. And grave robbers show up now. They get in there, they pull the daggers, they're rich, they open the sarcophagus. One dude gets down into the box, which was kind of cool.
It was actually really cool.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. Yeah, it was kind of cool.
Dude,
I knew it was going to happen. He's like, I'm going to
through.
reach in there. I'm like, you're getting ready to get, and he did.
A hand goes through his chest, sir. A hand.
No, that was actually pretty good.
Yeah, reverse chest burster. So then we fast forward to, as they called it, modern times, which was actually 1994 or 2. And
no, 1980, because it was 30 years, wasn't it?
Was it? I thought it was in the 90s when this was supposed to be done. It was released in 90.
It was released in 90.
Made in 92, and it said present day. So I assumed it was in the 90s.
It might be. I may just be reading more into it. Not that it really
the
matters.
Chicago Bulls won the championship during it. So if anyone wants to look and see when the Bulls won, we could
that would be
figure it out,
90s. That would be 90s.
Yeah. So we fast forward to that in Chicago, and street cops, Sergeant Shatter, played by Chuck Norris, and Jackson, who's a detective, his partner, they are hunting down pimps and hookers and such. Well, we see Prosantos is now in a hotel with a chick, and she falls on the car, and now they have to go figure out what the hell is going on. I know it didn't thunder that time, did it?
Just now did.
Did it? I didn't hear it.
Stop saying the name.
Okay, so they go after this dude because they're trying they're trying to figure out what's all going on and everything else. And they go and beat up a pimp, and they find out what's going on. They kind of get stumbled into this, and then they find a dead rabbi that the dude, who I won't say his name, killed because he's trying to get all these scepter pieces back. And then after all this is going on, now the Israeli police want to question those 2 guys.
Chuck and his partner.
Yep. So they have to go to Israel now to deal with that. And while they're over there, they end up being slung into this whole fight a demon from hell thing now, and they hook up with him, who's the bad guy. I'm not going to say his name again. He was gallivanting around as a professor, kind of like a Highlander being an antiques dealer.
Yeah.
It's kind of the same thing.
Yeah,
Because
he was on an archaeological dig and all this other stuff.
the
I said
Highlander's like, I'm an
archaeological.
yeah, I heard that thunder that time. The Highlander's like, I'm an antiques dealer. No, dude, you bought that shit yourself because you're 400 years old. So don't start that. Same kind of thing with this dude as a professor.
Yeah.
He's like, I know all this stuff because you lived it. So anyway, he's doing that so we can try to find the temple and the scepter and get back to hell again and hang out with Satan. Mostly because I think he wanted to hang out with little Nicky. So
Popeye's chicken is a shit.
It's the shiznit. So while they're doing that, they run into basically Aladdin, because it was this little kid from the Middle East that keeps stealing wallets. And they deal with that. And then they find out that the dude's assistant is actually her dad was a duke. So she's royal blood. Coming to find out, he was just trying to get the scepter back, stab her, go back to hell, hang out. Chuck Norris and Jackson figure it out. They go stop him, kick him a bunch of times. Don't really hurt him. He throws Jackson all over the place, disappears, reappears, disappears, reappears. And finally the chick goes, oh, I got to stab him with this thing. Chuck grabs a scepter, throws it through his chest, and he explodes.
Yep. There you go.
And then they go back to Chicago.
Yep. Perfect
Bulls
synopsis.
Thank you. Thank you, gentlemen.
We even had thunder sound effects during your synopsis. I thought that was fantastic. That's what we bring to this episode.
And the Bulls, like I said, won the championship.
And the Bulls won this championship.
Yes, they did. One thing I wanted to point out
Go ahead.
Yes.
was with Pro Satan Oss. That way we could just say his name like that. He's an operating system who's Pro
Big
Satan.
P. Yeah, the Big P. Yeah.
Big P.
Did you notice that he looks exactly like Wormtongue from Lord of the Rings?
Oh, yeah.
Like with just goat eyes.
I thought he looked like maybe a younger version of the bad guy killer dude from Last Action Hero.
Well, I thought he
The
looked
dude
like
in the raincoat.
I thought he looked like the cousin from the Alien on I Come From Peace. I come in peace.
I thought he just looked like a child toucher because he was creepy looking.
No makeup. I mean, no prosthetics or anything.
No, he probably needed some makeup then.
Yeah, that's just his face.
That was this dude's face, and I could tell like they did like around his like jaw lines and stuff like that to kind of really give some definition to his face.
Mm-hmm.
But the dude's a flipping giant. He had that really long hair, but the receding bald head on top, which was for some reason every bad guy in the 80s and 90s. It seemed like the Ao Leong haircut without the Fu Manchu.
No,
You know,
yeah,
so,
correct.
so you had that. But man, I loved him as a bad guy in this.
He was so I liked him as a bad guy, and then they had to do the voice where, I'm a demon voice, and I'm like, all right. And then they put the contacts in, and he had the weird goat eye things, and I was like, okay.
And I love how it was
because just be the creepy dude. The creepy dude was creepy.
like
There's no way he could see.
He'd
all
be
with
talking
those
to
he hated that.
he'd be talking to somebody all normal. But then guess what? I'm a demon. Be surprised and scared.
The demon, Chuck Norris.
Hi, Chuck. No, I'm a demon. It's like
I'm actually an archaeologist. I didn't want to be a demon. I wanted to do this as a side gig, but no, Satan wanted me to do this instead.
I told my mom this is what I really wanted to do, but she said get a job, we could pay the bills. So I went to archaeology school.
Oh my god, man! This
What I really wanted to do is just stab holy people and take their scepter pieces from them.
I'm actually into arts and crafts.
And I also do hair on the side.
I have a wicked skullet.
That's
Yeah,
what
he
it
did.
was. He had the skullet.
I can do your taxes for you. No,
You had the Chuck Norris mullet and the skullet. And can we talk about Chuck Norris and his Miami Vice vibe this entire movie?
Oh,
so
dude.
when they're in Israel,
He
they have
has
to go talk
notes
to
ready. He flipped
Yeah,
the page.
he knows. They go to Israel and they have to talk to the police chief, and they're told, first of all, the driver's shitty, and
Top Gun, sir.
Top
Gun.
I like that movie.
That's what
So-
shitty means. Shitty means
that's what-
Top Gun.
Did you notice that they recreated the
Told you
driving
guys.
scene from Wayne's World?
Yeah, that was good. So they do that, but he has to go see the captain, and he's getting dressed up, and he looks like he's Tubbs or Sonny from Miami Vice.
Yeah.
And they even made some comments about it. But yeah, he's the total early 90s outfits with the jackets
It's like a sport jacket. He had the slacks with the pleat, that perfect line running down. Nate, you have notes, please, sir. Tell us your
Chuck
notes.
Norris brought fashion to Israel.
He did indeed.
He did.
He did.
I'm fairly certain there's a denim jacket he wears in this that I literally just bought like last weekend.
Probably so.
That I intend to customize. I was like, Chuck Norris already beat me to it.
You got to do the Hellbound jacket now.
Amazing dad jeans in this.
Yep.
You need to cosplay as Chuck Norris from Hellbound now.
Yeah.
Oh, totally.
Go to Whorehound and do that.
That's what I'll go to Whorehound weekend as Chuck Norris from Hellbound, and everyone's
have Charlie come up from Tennessee, and he can shave his beard and just have the skullet, and he can be walking going, "I'm a demon," and you can kick him, and he can just look at you. And
I'm a bad cop.
I'm in. Are we doing bad cop, good cop, dude? Oh my god, I don't even know where to really start. Like we just did the synopsis.
All right, let's kind of say. The movie was filmed in 92 and shelved until 94, where it came out direct on video, because this is the last of the canon films.
Yep.
It was the release date. Let me try it again. The release date was March 18th, 1994, and it says Portugal. So I guess they went to Portugal first. Maybe
so whoever got the distribution rights. I mean, you're talking canon.
Yeah.
It's whoever paid to see it first.
Exactly. So, the thing about this movie that I kind of like, though, that is really cool, is part of the cast. Of course, the bad guy Prosecco, because I'm not going to say it. I don't want to thunder your stuff again. He also goes by Lockley. His human name, as he's the professor, is Lockley.
Yeah.
Christopher Name, I guess Neme, Neame.
Neom name.
Yeah,
something
he's
like
not
that,
going to come after me. I don't know. Calvin Levels as Calvin, because it's canon, so someone has to have their first name as their real name.
Yep,
that's a canon trope. And Leslie, the princess, Lockley's assistant, is Cherie J. Wilson.
And when you watch this movie,
you know where I'm going with this.
I know exactly where you're going.
She looks very familiar, and she looks very familiar standing next to Chuck Norris for a reason.
Because I'm pointing, her face popped up, and I went, "Oh, it's her!" And Jackie's looking at me like, "What are you talking about?" I said, "Look," and she goes, "I know that face. Why does it look so familiar?" And I'm like, "Think about it. Her and Chuck,
Nate,
a lot of screen time. Nate knows.
Nate,
oh, I know.
And Walker, Texas Ranger.
Oh,
that's right. She's the female lead in Walker, Texas Ranger.
Yep.
So that to me is actually kind of one of my favorite bits about this movie when it comes to the cast members of the film. Nate, you being the, I guess, guest on this particular podcast, even though now you're part of the family, unfortunately. Nate, I'll throw it to you. What was the character or the actor or the bit in this that made you kind of go, oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, cause Chuck's in there, but like, who did you kind of did you focus on any one particular person and went, I really kind of like this person. I'd like to see him in more, or I know who that is, or, what have you?
It was definitely pro Satan operating system. That dude was awesome. Like every part he was in, after he rips his chest, like gets the hand through the chest, he instantly hooks up with a prostitute who
that was so funny.
Poorly dubbed.
Oh my God, was it not?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Why did they dub? Was she that bad? Because they made her annoying just in the dub.
She was worse than the chick from Under Siege.
Yeah. Well, since you brought that up, that is the perfect in line for Jackie watching this, because she is mocking this poor actress the entire time. Anytime she said something or giggled, Jackie's doing the same thing. And she's like, God, I hope she dies. Just all this whole thing, just ragging on this poor girl who's just starting her acting career. There were 2 reasons why she was in the movie. You didn't see them.
Well,
There's
I
no
hope
nudity in this movie.
I'm sorry, Jackie, because when she landed on the car, they said she was still alive. So I don't know if she finally gave in at the hospital, but
I broke it to her that she didn't actually die when I did the body count for this movie.
yes, we're real sorry about that. But talking about the actor that played him again, Christopher Nemi, Neame, whatever, however you pronounce that. Known also for some of the other movies in The Prestige, License to Kill, and he was the maitre d' in Ghostbusters 2.
Vaguely remember it. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm
when
thinking
the
they
guys,
mean
well, I think it's when the guys after they went through the river of slime and showed up to go get Pete and
where Pete and
Dana.
Dana were having dinner, right?
Hmm.
That's
Yeah.
the part I thought it was. I didn't
Yeah,
go
I had to
back and look.
Google it, and I couldn't even
Yep.
find like an image of it. So I'm like, all right, he must have been just like a background dude at some
That
point.
or it hit the cutting room
Mhm.
floor, but he was still
Yeah.
Could be.
credited. I mean,
But he did
that
a
stuff
lot of
happens.
sci-fi TV stuff too, like a lot of Doctor Who's, a couple of the different Star Trek franchises, things like that as well. So,
My
and then a ton of the early '90s TV shows, Murder She Wrote, Jag, Sliders, Babylon 5, a ton of things like that as well. So,
as a bad
MacGyver,
guy, I would hope. Now, this dude had to be a
Hopefully.
bad guy in everything
I
he
can't
did.
picture this man
Yeah.
ever playing a good person.
Nope,
he was in 4 episodes of MacGyver.
that's awesome. He had to be a bad
Yeah.
guy then.
I hope he tried to blow up MacGyver.
Oh, you know he
Everybody
did.
did. Everybody did. Everybody did.
Yeah.
Did you
So, yeah.
see who wrote this movie and what else he's made?
I did. Are you talking about Brent Freeman?
Yes,
Friedman,
the
rather?
man
Yep.
responsible for Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
And the Crow Stairway to Heaven TV series.
This is better than all of that. I'll go ahead and say it. I'm going on
Oh,
record
yeah.
that this movie is better than all that.
But then
Yeah.
the dude wrote like 11 episodes for the Clone Wars, which I'm currently watching, and is phenomenal. So maybe he wrote
Fantastic.
11 bad episodes.
He
Could have
wrote some
been.
episodes for Enterprise and Twilight Zone, and then he wrote a bunch of video game stuff like Command & Conquer 3 and Halo 4 and Tales of the Borderlands and he wrote episodes for Rebels even, dude.
Yeah, it's gotta suck though to be the guy that got offered the right for Command and Conquer 3, because you're the dude that's being offered the right for a game that no one's going to play.
Yeah, no, Command & Conquer 3 was horrible.
I'm just upset that you guys are glazing over the most important background person in this movie, and that's the director.
Well,
Oh.
yes. So
The man responsible for sidekicks.
the man responsible
Don't
for
you
Braddock
dare
Missing in Action
something
3.
Bad about sidekicks or Braddock. What's wrong with
Okay,
you?
so Aaron Norris, Chuck's brother, directed these movies.
Yes.
And if you look at his directorial resume is all Chuck Norris projects because no one else wants that dipshit to direct anything because he directed Sidekicks and Braddock Missing in Action 3 and Delta Force 2. So basically they're like, hey, Braddock Missing in Action was great. Yeah, let's make a third one. No one wants to make a third one. It's going to suck. Well, give it to Norris. Who cares? Hey, Delta Force 1 was amazing. Delta Force 2, again, Norris, we don't care. It's going to be dog shit. They just give it to Norris at that point. That is he only did 4 episodes of Walker, Texas Ranger. They were like, we're not giving him any more than that.
I like
Top
it.
Dog. He did
I-
Top Dog.
I was gonna
like
say you forgot Top Dog.
I-
One of the many classic cop with a dog.
I've liked every movie you've listed, and I'm wondering where all of this contention's coming from
because
I
out of
really
the
enjoy those movies.
out of the Missing in Action movies, Braddock
I like Braddock.
Braddock was the Smokey and the
prequel.
Bandit 3 of the Smokey and Smokey and the Bandit
Smokey
3.
is the bandit. And
Exactly.
Bill
That's
and
what
Ted Bogus
Braddock
Journey
Missing in
3.
Action 3 was.
Now, I've never seen The Hitman, but the cover alone is amazing because he's got like this over the under barrel, like double barrel sawed off. You
Yeah.
never see that. You usually see the classic Mad Max like sawed off, not this one. And he's
Nope.
one-handing it, so it's got to be incredible.
Oh
No,
yeah, he'd take care of business with that gun.
There's a reason we love Chuck here at Give Me Back My Action Movies, and the reason why we love Cannon.
His brother maybe not so much, but yes, Chuck is. Chuck
And
is.
I don't know if you
Chuck
guys.
is who Chuck is who we were raised with, man.
I don't know if you made it through like all the credits like I did, but his son was also stunt coordinator in this.
Oh, very cool. No, I didn't see
Another
that.
Norris was involved. So there's 3 of them running around.
Oh,
But
How
that's
do you
really cool.
think?
So
How
that's
do you think that Aaron Norris directs Chuck? Like, hey, I just want you to go over there and like kick
okay.
that.
Well, now that you say that, that kind of
Chuck, kick
opens
him.
us.
Kick him
Let's
again.
no, let's play one of our drops, Dan.
Which one
let's
you want,
do
bud?
Tough Guy. This
Tough
is
guy.
quintessential Chuck Norris in this movie.
You don't need that.
I don't need it to kick your ass.
Is that right, tough guy? You're really that tough? Let's see. Then hit me. Hey, come on. Hit me, tough guy. Come on.
Let's see how tough you really are.
You call that a hit? That's a hit.
Come on, be a good little pimp. Give me that hand. Come on, put it up there.
I love Jackson arresting the pimp in the background. It's so good.
They're breaking up a pimp slapping around his hooker, and this is the tough guy that's like keeping watch. And there's a lot of pauses, but what you're hearing is Chuck goading him into hitting him. So he's pushing him up against the car, and he finally hits him, and you get that classic. Chuck took a punch and turned his head, and then slowly turned back to look at him. You call that a hit? And then uppercuts him up in the air, and he lands on the trunk of the car and rolls off.
Man, like
All you
when
needed
he
was
punches this man,
Toasty.
he doesn't move his body at all. Like
Nope.
his legs are planted, his
Nope.
waist is not moving. So it's literally just like he unlocked the super punch ability.
What
and
we
just
didn't
uppercuts this
see,
man.
what they cut out was he unzipped his pants, and then boom, the guy went flying.
That might have been what it is.
It
What I
was
love
Chuck
is
Norris.
the classic canon fake punch noises in this
Oh my
movie
God.
are all there.
Jackie would not stop. She goes, the sound effects. Why are they doing that? I said, it's canon. Yeah.
Just
Uh,
the worst.
And the poor girl that gets dubbed over, she is just cackling at this poor girl because they dubbed her over. She's wearing lingerie after she had sex with a demon, apparently, and she's trying to get him to talk to her. And then she gets chucked out of a window, which she's like cheering the entire time, like, yes! So I didn't hear that Chuck said she lived because Jackie's cheering in the background the whole time.
Did you hear when she hit the ground and they realized they lived? Did you hear this?
No, but we probably needed it.
Well,
They
Jackson
did say call an
Jackson does call
ambulance.
it. Yeah, he does call in. Let's go along with the drop we just heard. This was before, so they're like I said, they were in the mean streets of Chicago and dealing with the scum and villainy that thrive in that city, and they were looking for a drug dealer essentially. So I will play the drop of Chuck trying to get information about a drug dealer.
Who's your supplier? You can't do this, you're a cop!
Yeah? Watch this, you little piece of shit.
Shut up! Don't shoot him, man, don't shoot him. Please, okay? All right.
You little scum.
Shatter, let me talk to him, man. Just let me talk to him.
You got a minute.
Look, Jay Bird, why don't you just tell me who your supplier is, okay?
Okay, wait a minute. I have to hear this one more time because I think I just caught something. Hold on.
Okay.
Who's your supplier?
Fake punch. Yeah.
Yep.
You can't do this, you're a cop!
Yeah? Watch this, you little piece of shit.
Shut up! Don't shoot him, man, don't shoot him.
Does he call him Chuck just then?
Oh,
I didn't hear. Rewind that.
yeah. Play it again.
Who's your supplier? You can't do this, you're a cop!
Yeah? Watch this, you little piece of shit.
Shut up! Don't shoot him, man, don't shoot him. Please.
That is either him saying Chuck or trying to say shatter real fast, but I'm going to go with Chuck.
Yeah,
I think he
totally
said Chuck.
Chuck.
Oh my God, that's great. That's
Come
even
on,
better.
Calvin, bring your A game to Hellbound.
Okay, so first of all, you get the whoosh,
Yeah.
and then you get Chuck Norris going, "You little piece of shit." Which I think at that point he was probably looking at his brother when he was saying that.
Come here, you little piece of shit. No, just do whatever you want, Chuck. Just do whatever you want.
It was so. That's the best acting Chuck Norris has ever produced in his
Oh
life.
yeah,
was
he
that
came out
line right
swinging.
there.
This is out of the gate how we're introduced to the character too. So we had the medieval part
Yeah,
with King Richard, and it cuts to, it says present day Chicago, and you see this dude go flying out of a door, and Chuck Norris threatened to kill him. That was the beginning of this. It was just so frippin' awesome, man.
it was really good. But you know what? Looking back at some of the '80s, '90s action flicks as we do on this show,
Mm.
Chuck is probably the worst of the bad cops. Because
Yeah.
like Tango and Cash, great bad cops.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know, Schwarzenegger being a bad cop, you know, kind of in Commando even, you know, awesome.
Well, it's
You know, not
because
a cop in that, but you know what I mean.
Chuck,
But like Chuck is just such a good. I'm
no,
Chuck Norris.
Chuck
I'm
can't
that guy.
emote. If you've watched his movies, it's always the same tone. He says everything in the exact same type of tone.
He's a cooler Steven Seagal
He really
because
is.
Seagal. I'm Steven Seagal.
No, that's two now.
I'm Chuck
Hey,
Norris.
don't
If he
stop.
comes through my
Hey,
flipping door
Get
again,
back
Hey.
in.
I'm Chuck Norris now. It's the same thing. I watched this, and as much as I love Chuck because he's part of my childhood and everything else, I watched it going, he's not a great actor. He's
no.
he kinda
Nope.
sucks.
And I'm gonna be the broken record again. We don't watch action movies for great acting. Sometimes we don't even watch it for great storytelling.
That's true.
I
Yes.
mean, honestly,
There are some that have that elements
yes.
in there. But I'm sitting there and honestly, I never thought about Chuck Norris being a crap actor until I watched this movie and went, did he just not was he just like maybe he was phoning this one in because he knew it was towards the end or something. Because like there are elements of Chuck Norris and his films where he does a better job of acting than he
Does
did
he?
in this.
I mean,
think
I'm
so.
being honest here because
Yeah, I think so. I think he did a better job in Delta Force. I don't think it was
I think he
still
sounds the exact same. I don't. He doesn't emote any emotion, even when Bobby dies, or not Bobby, but yeah, you know who I'm talking about.
yeah.
The kid.
Scott.
I think
Yeah,
it's
Scott.
just
no,
like
Butch.
No,
he's
whatever.
growing
You're right.
up.
Was it?
We
Yeah,
see it, and
yeah.
we're just like, oh yeah, this is just a total badass doing badass things.
Well,
And,
yeah.
like
Yeah.
you just don't even focus on that. Then as you get older, especially when you revisit some of these, you're like, oh,
Yeah,
man.
Chuck did not his acting prowess did not hold up to the test of time.
No, I
The
mean,
movies are still fun to watch.
Oh
If-
yeah.
Like I said, I wanted to hate this and didn't.
if I was just watching this for fun, I wouldn't be breaking it down like this for a show.
Right.
You know, so I wouldn't even be. I would have been like, "This is flipping awesome," just like I was the first time. I've watched it 3 times now because that's what I do. I watched it last night for the first time. I've already seen it 3 times.
Mhm.
I had to get the body count. We'll get into that later. But no, when I have to stop and look back, and I'll go ahead and say I listen to a lot of other action movie podcasts, and there's a lot of great ones out there. I'm friends with most of them. Not all of them like Delta Force. There's some of them that are like consider it the worst movie ever made, and it gets like 1 or 2 stars. We were upper 4s when we rated it, and yes, it's nostalgia heavy, but we love it, and we love Chuck Norris because of that. I love Delta Force too. I think it's a fun movie to watch. I wish they would have done more along what the first one did, or maybe named it something else, not to give it the prestige of Delta Force. But
Yeah, like DEA Force or something.
yeah, because they were essentially DEA in that. They were
Yeah.
just working for him. But same type of his best friend dies in that movie, and he talks the exact same. His angry voice is the same as his sexy voice because he tries that in this movie with Leslie, the girl. It's Alex from Texas Walker or Walker Texas Ranger.
He did look.
be
He did
fair-
emote in dodgeball when he put the thumbs up.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
a physical emote, but he would have been like, "Good job, guys.
Yeah,
But
You've
I
got
would've
this,
probably-
guys."
I'll have the same tone when Dan dies. I'll be like, "Yep, there he goes."
Well,
Same
that got
emote.
that got
Yeah.
dark fast.
no, I don't expect any of you assholes to show up. So
He's already the co-host on one show, and he's just trying to get that foot in the door on the second show, huh?
I
me
know,
in.
right?
Hey, it's good.
Yeah. Oh well. Anyway, all right. On that note, let's take a commercial break, shall we, guys?
I think it's a good time for commercial.
That way, I can mute this. I can call Nate a son of a bitch, and when we come back, we will continue to talk about Hellbound, not Hellraiser,
Nope. Hell,
Nope.
and
Nope.
we will play a few more drops and get into the bits that everyone wants to hear on Give Me Back My Action Movies, the podcast.
Welcome to the Monster Movie Stomp Down, where twice a month we review monster movies from all corners of the planet. Join me, Sludge.
And I went to watch it the other night, and she's like, "Why are you watching this? You can quote this movie line for line." I'm like, that's very accurate.
My co-host Mark,
Don't ask me to do a stomp down on this because it's zero.
Okay, dude. Ruben, what's your stomp down rate?
and our brother from Texas, Ruben.
It's just, I'm like, wait a minute. They tricked me into watching this.
Yeah, that's what I felt like. I'm like,
As we give you the history, our review, and the stomp down rating of some of the best and worst monster movies around. Available through the Podbean app, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, and Amazon. Make sure and check us out on Facebook and Instagram.
Just how drunk are we gonna get?
Welcome to Good Beer, Bad Movie Night, where each month we drink finely crafted brews while watching terrible films in order to see just how drunk you have to get to enjoy them. So tune in and join Troy.
Kilroy Kreitz.
Oh, that was pretty good.
Thank you.
Dave.
I have the weirdest boner.
And Pete. IPAs are ales, meaning they are bottom fermented. Excuse me, they are top fermented. I that up. Try that again. As we drag Kathleen,
Hear me.
kicking and screaming through an alcohol-fueled podcast dedicated to movies of questionable quality and the frosty adult beverages that help make them tolerable. Good Beer, Bad Movie Night. Clearly, it's the beer's fault.
Hey, this is Jimmy Street, host of the Live and in Color with Wolfie D podcast. Here are the life and times of professional wrestler Wolfie D. From his times in the territories with PG-13 to his times in WWE, ECW, WCW, TNA, and more. Nothing is off limits and nothing will be held back. Available now on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and all major podcast formats.
All right, everyone. Welcome back to Give Me Back My Action Movies, the podcast, talking about Hellbound with Charlie and Nate. Charlie, I'm going to go ahead and hand it right back over to you, buddy.
I know we just heard some commercials, and I'm reminded that we have Pete as one of our commercials with Good Beer, Bad Movie. I really want them to do this movie now. I want to hear what they say about Hellbound and how badly Kathleen will hate them all. And for making her sit through this, because this would be perfect.
Pretty bad.
She would be so upset with that. And
she would be.
she doesn't like blood either. I noticed that from listening to the
she
podcast.
doesn't like that, and she will rail on the prostitute just as hard as Jackie did in that whole part too. So
yeah.
But I was going to say something.
You know, why don't you gather your thoughts real quick, and let's talk about the first time that Chuck runs into.
Don't say his name.
Okay, that guy.
The demon.
The operating system. Yeah, the bad guy.
The demon.
The demon. No, not Gene Simmons. See what I did there? Oh, Nate, put your tongue away.
No.
Are you two in the same room?
Now I know why you have a live-in roommate. So all right. So yeah. So yes, this is where the hooker got thrown out the window.
Yep.
And Chuck goes to meet up with the bad guy demon guy.
Yeah, he runs up the stairs
emissary
to the apartment or whatever it was the guy was staying
and
in.
it's all dark, and because 90% of this movie's in the dark, and I guess they didn't want to pay for lighting. They were broke.
And we've just watched him try to do the deal with the rabbi for part of the scepter. We see a guy kind of brokering the deal, and it's fake. And the rabbi is there to kill the demon, stabs him with one of the daggers. It doesn't kill him, and the demon rips out the rabbi's heart.
Yeah,
quite graphically. So that's kind of a good setup for this because we didn't.
and by the way, the heart is that real classic fake.
Oh my god,
80s, 90s fake heart with the tube on it.
There's
so
like
good.
4 or 5 tubes off the top, and it looks like a horse heart. It's like there's no way that came out of a dude's body.
No, it's the size of
it came out of a
Nate's
rabbi's
head.
body.
It came out of a rabbi.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
But at that point, that's when Chuck Norris storms into the room.
Police, step onto the light.
Leave now, and I'll let you live.
You're all hard, buddy.
Speaking of hearts, yeah.
He throws the heart at him. We had to lead up to that because otherwise it makes
Yeah.
no sense why he said
No.
that.
But so after he deals with him and he leaves, he escapes or whatever, Jackson shows up.
Oh, shit! His heart's gone!
No, it isn't. It's right there.
Holy shit! Ah!
I love Jackson.
I lost it watching that movie last night. I was in tears. I was not that was Chuck Norris in comedy. No, it's not. It's right there. Oh my God. I was not expecting it.
He runs up and he sees the rabbi dead under the thing, and that's where he freaks out. He's like, that heart's gone. No, it's not. It's right there. This is the Chuck Norris that I love from my favorite Chuck Norris movie, Firewalker.
Yeah. Now that one may be a little bit different of a type of Chuck because he went more adventure comedy based on that.
He actually does emote in that some
more. Yeah, you're right. That is one that I can say he does.
Nate, have you ever seen Firewalker?
I have not seen Firewalker.
Oh, it's him and Louis Gossett Jr. on a Indiana Jones, Alan Quartermain style adventure.
Totally. It's not your like quintessential action movie, but it's great. I also love in this line that Chuck drops the line that he got his ass kicked by this dude. He never really ever admits that.
Yeah.
You know, Chuck always wins, but he goes, "You didn't just get your ass kicked."
Yeah, but you know what? Chuck introduced that demon to bullets, and I want to know what it's like if you're a demon that gets shot for the first time. What you're thinking?
Probably. I mean, ow.
Because
he did
from
like
1100 AD. So
he took
he's
a couple
used
to the
crossbow.
chest. Yeah, he backed off when he hit him with them, but he just kept
flew
going down there.
backwards when he got hit.
Yeah,
and I love the open end when he has to go do the report for which we need to talk about the chief because that was the weirdest flipping thing I've ever seen before. But she tells him, and you have to account for those 2 missing bullets. I'm like, they're in a dude that's still running around. How is he supposed to account for 2 missing bullets?
Chicago has budget cuts that were happening in the 90s because all the money was going to the Bulls.
Wasn't as bad as Detroit. Yeah, wasn't as bad as Detroit.
Detroit was worse.
There.
Or Axel Foley. How awesome would have Axel Foley been running in on this movie?
Well, we're going to get a 4th one, so maybe we will see.
I did see that.
The Chuck Norris, Axel Foley crossover that we've always wanted.
And you know, Eddie Murphy's no stranger to the supernatural. I mean, we all seen Golden Child and stuff like that, so it could have worked.
Haunted Mansion.
But talking about, so they get done with this, and they all of a sudden we're at the police station. So we've gone from this dark and gritty ass movie, and I'm going to talk about that here in a second too, because I was stoked watching this movie for a certain reason. We end up in the police station, bright lights, fluorescent everywhere. Female police chief, nothing wrong with it, but she tried to emote anger and it didn't come off. And what we are dropped into her chewing out Jackson, but at the tail end of it, where she goes, "I don't want to hear it. Get out of my office." That's what we're introduced to the second we're dropped onto that scene. And he looks at Chuck, and Chuck's like, got his back turned and looking out the blinds with his arm up, all like, distraught or something. And Jackson looks at him and just walks out of the room. And then she's all like, well, what do you got to tell me now, Shatter? Come on, Shatter. What's your explanation? And he's like, it's in the report. It's right there. And that's where she talks about the bullets. But I was like, she's so weird. And it gets weirder later in the movie.
Oh,
Did
yeah.
you guys hear that?
Yeah,
Like, it wasn't just me. I was
during
like,
the phone call?
like Jackson tries to make it sound like Shatter's got a thing for it, and she gets all like lady boner about it, and it's just
oh my God.
really like, well, okay, she's a horrible actress, first of all.
Hey,
Here are some of the things that she was in before she got her big break in Hellbound. Was an episode of Night Gallery, an episode of The Wonder Years.
Wasn't that like Kolchak or something like that? Or was that different?
No, she was in an episode of Growing Pains and Who's the Boss. And then she got Hellbound. Then she was in an episode of Family Matters. And she was in Dracula Dead and Loving It.
Leslie Nielsen.
Oh.
She was in Dr. Dolittle with Eddie Murphy, speaking of which.
Oh.
She was in an episode of Reba and ER. Oh, she was the cackling woman at the Death Fest and Drag Me to Hell, boys.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I knew you both would know that.
Look at her go.
She's not exactly young in this movie, so that she's like that older lady that we saw in Drag Me to Hell. Another Sam Raimi gem that not everybody knows about. I was not expecting what I got out of that movie.
Absolutely amazing. My only complaint with that movie was like some of the CGI was super heavy.
Yeah.
And like 90% of it was practical, but when he added some of that CGI, I was like, okay, you could tell this is that, mid 2000s type.
It was that transitional time, but when I watched that movie, I was not expecting comedy. And they straight up it's gory comedy. And I was not expecting it. And I'm like, this is fantastic.
You get his Evil Dead 2 type gore with his love of Three Stooges slapstick.
Yes.
In that movie.
So that a little taste of what we're going to be talking about later on in the horror movie show. But
wink, wink.
No, she
Nodge,
was
nodge.
She was just
nodge.
So awkward in this as the chief.
Well, let's
I don't
speak.
think she moved in any scene either.
No,
like,
she's
she was
always
so
behind the
stiff.
desk. Always.
She was a real
Dang it,
shitty
Chuck Norris,
animatronic.
you need to go back to Israel and you go arrest a demon.
Can we talk about that next? Can we please? Why on any planet would two Chicago cops have to fly all the way to Israel for the police chief there to ask them questions for 6 hours?
Well,
and then he was done with them.
Well, not to mention the fact, why would a lowly Israel police captain why would he even be involved in an Interpol investigation?
I
Interpol would not even let him wipe their rear with this case.
Leads to, who was this rabbi? How important was he? Because clearly he was a big rabbi.
Well, yeah, they allude to a lot of that too. Now I'm going to answer the question. I'm going to answer it, and the answer is this movie was filmed in Israel, and we need a reason why the backdrop is Israel. So that's the reason that Canon did this, as with most of their movies are filmed overseas. Israel is like their hometown. So, and man, if that's where they're from, they did not show the great side of Israel. They really kind of made it look like the toilet of the world. And I'm not disrespecting Israel at all. I'm actually taking their side. I'm like, it does not look like it did in the movie.
I think they wanted to show a more of a guttural side of it, so it could be such a difference for Jackson to
like Chicago.
Yeah, and so Jackson could bitch about it.
Really, on the coast near the university that was within driving distance, near an archaeological dig.
Yeah, it was all missed. It was all just hodgepodge together.
That's canon, and I knew what I was getting when I watched it. But
I will say
now,
The set pieces were great though, like the temple, the archaeology
Oh,
dig,
yeah.
Yeah.
like everywhere that was filmed, like where you could tell this was somewhere important in Israel, looked awesome, and it like really did add to the
Well, even
movie.
the set at the very beginning with the sacrifice and where they
Yeah.
had to move the
Mhm.
cross to which that was weird. They had to
That
tear a
ended up being
cross off a wall to go in a
well,
room where
that
everyone
ended
already
up being
was.
the archaeological dig site at the end.
Yeah, I
You know,
got
yeah,
that.
but so it was kind of neat. But yeah, I guess it was because he was hiding back there, and he probably had some kind of
Other way in, I guess. I don't know.
yeah. But this priest knew about behind the cross or whatever, and had to have the Templars help him.
We're nitpicking a canon film, fellas. I mean,
That's
that's
true.
Yeah, no, you bastard! You finally made me do it.
I made you do it.
All right, I'm gonna play a couple more drops here, and they're actually kind of back to back in the movie. They end up going to the last holy man that gets murderized, and he's a blind hermit, insane crackpot.
I love this guy.
Oh, this dude's awesome.
Oh my god.
So when he finally he's talking to him for a minute, and he kind of realizes that
demon.
Portobello is there,
Portobello.
and he's after him or whatever. So he tells him they got a bolt at this point, and this is him losing it.
Leave! Leave! Leave!
I love that dude. And here's Jackson's response.
Either this guy is nuttier than a Snickers, or there's some real heavy shit going down.
I swear I thought I was watching a Mel Brooks section. I think that he was like
Yes.
vacationing.
Oh, absolutely.
And they went, "Hey, can you just we want you to direct one scene." And Brooks is like, "Sure, I'll take a swing at it." And leave. Oh my god, I was
leave. It was Mel Brooksian or almost Python like.
Yeah, very Python.
Oh yeah.
You know, yeah.
I told you guys at the beginning when
like
we talked
History
about
of the World.
When we talked about that drop, I was reciting the lines of the blind Blinken from Robin Hood Men in Tights to my wife. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You've lost your arms in battle, but you grew a nice set of boobs. She didn't find it as funny as I did, but that's what this guy was acting like. It was hilarious.
Men in Tights is a great movie, by the way.
Fantastic.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's really good. So
is that an action movie? We can bend the rules for that.
I think you could bend the rules for that one.
There's a possibility of doing that episode later down the road.
I want to add Dracula Dead and Loving It to ours now. Like,
now that he's brought that up,
you should, yeah. All right, gentlemen. Nope, sorry. This is for Jackie. Jackie, the prostitute, her name is Zoe Trilling. Her real name is Gerlin May Betzler.
Wow, that's a name. Maybe that's why she was dubbed.
Yeah. She her first film was Girls Just Want to Have Fun. She was a dancer, so a real stretch. She did an episode of 21 Jump Street. She was in an episode of Guiding Light. She was in an episode of Married with Children.
Okay.
She was in an episode of MacGyver.
There's that
Jake and the
MacGyver
Fat
thread.
Man.
She's doing like the 90s bingo.
Right. Yeah, no doubt, right?
We should have that. That would be hilarious.
We really should.
Little bingo cards from 80s and 90s shows.
She was in the movie To Protect and Serve, which is really bad funny cop movie when they had those funny cop movies that like Police Academy and stuff there for a while.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay.
Night Terrors. You familiar with that one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. She was in Hellbound, and she was just listed as Hooker. Pretty proud. She was in Night of the Demons 2.
Seen that? Yep.
Yeah, I don't know that one. She was in the video Leprechaun 3.
Video Leprechaun 3 or the movie?
Video one. Yeah, it's
it probably went straight to
video.
DVD.
Yeah.
I'm the Leprechaun. You know.
I have that one. I have that one.
And then she was in another couple other pieces of crap. But anyway, yeah, there you go, Jackie. You're right. She is a talentless piece of trash.
But I'm sure a lovely person on the inside. Come on, we can't disparage everyone.
Very nice human being who
don't.
decided to retire and go and live on the farm.
Yeah, I don't know. It just the movie was horrible.
I did dig
this is what I have. This is what I have to say about her.
What you got, Nate? Hit us, Nate.
I did dig up an interview that Norris did on this because, as we had mentioned, trying to find anything about
Which
this
one,
movie
Chuck
is
or Aaron?
next to impossible. Here's what he had to say about the movie.
Is this Chuck Norris or Aaron Norris?
Oh, this is Chuck.
Okay, go ahead.
It was an interesting movie, a little on the lighter side. My adversary was the devil, or his helper, or whatever, a guy who had lived thousands of years. King Richard actually entombed him. Then hundreds of years later, some guys opened the tomb and let him run rampant. It was a half humor and half sci-fi. I enjoyed the trip to Israel, where it was filmed. You could tell, like, the dude does not remember making this movie because he
So it
clearly
wasn't
doesn't
even
know what it's
sci-fi.
about.
Where does sci-fi come from?
I do not know. Is there an alien in this movie?
He was
Hey, did you see the rubber mask on the one demon at the beginning? That was alien.
That was an awesome rubber mask. And he
Why
had 3
did they
claws.
not just reuse that same mask in other cuts? So we could have had.
The rubber mask was a better special effect than when he
turned into the demon. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh man, the worst. They had the ground was opening up, and you could just see somebody underneath, like pulling a plate away from the ground of the set piece. It was just so bad.
Okay, so like I said earlier, there's reasons this movie is bad, and you can tell why. And they were saving budget, so all the money went into that set with the demon and the ritual.
I'll tell you, boys, now why the movie was bad is because it said canon at the beginning of it. That's how you knew.
Not all canon
disagree.
movies are bad. I'm disagreeing with that.
That's how you know there's going to be bad parts of this movie is because it said canon at the beginning of it. Yeah.
But so the money was spent for the temple because at the end when they finally destroy the demon in the most ridiculous fashion, I would even admit, the ground shook apart. There's fire everywhere. There's a handful of extra demons that every time they got knocked down, they had to run around the set to fight the next guy. Then they got knocked down again and had to run back around. But here's the other thing I realized also in this movie. There's one gun.
Oh, you're right. There is only one pistol in this entire movie.
Gun in this whole movie.
No,
2. You're right. I know what you're talking about. At the beginning.
Shatter uses his at the beginning, and then Jackson uses his at the end.
So.
Oh yeah.
Because
Well,
he fires it
shared
off.
guns.
Well, basically what it was is they flew.
You see 3 guns because they also the cop that they knock out in the police station. Jackson takes his.
That's the gun. That's what I'm getting ready to explain.
Oh, you're right. I didn't think about that. Yeah.
See, they got flown to Israel as keepers of the body that were coming over. They were there to escort the body of the rabbi. So they would have had to gone with no weapon at all, even though they're cops. They're still technically tourists. So they steal the gun from the cop when they break into the police station.
You're
That's
right. That's
the
why
gun at the end. So you are right. I forgot about Shatter having the gun, and he shoots it at the beginning. But basically, the entire movie, there is no gun till the very final end. The other thing I love is how they crammed a car chase that's not a car chase in this movie.
Yeah.
Because that is so canon. Someone went, it's an action movie. We have to have a car chase.
Yeah,
the demon doesn't.
Movies.
The demon doesn't drive. There's no demonlings to drive. So what do? They put a cabbie character in a cop car to drive Chuck and the other guy around, who drives so bad, and they speed up the camera a couple of frames per second so it looks like he's going way faster than he drives through a outdoor restaurant area, like, and clips a dude with the rear view mirror because the guy kind of turns around like, what the heck was that? And the guy jokes about it. Yeah, he smacks his butt and he makes a joke about hitting the guy. And then we didn't do this clip because it's a lot longer, but essentially Jackson's like, can you drive a little faster? You're a shitty driver. And the guy goes, what is this shitty? What does that mean? He goes, oh, it means you're a hot shot. I don't know this hot shot. Top Gun. Oh, I've seen that movie. I am a shitty driver. I was like, oh my god. Oh, there's the canon. The canon's just oh, I
Someone
didn't.
on set was dying of laughter though.
They
Like,
had to
I
be.
wrote that joke. I did a good job.
Yeah, I wrote that. I'm laughing because yes, someone said Top Gun is shitty, but I was just enjoying the fact because I'm trying to take it all in, and I'm like, they literally put a car chase in a movie that had no reason to have a car chase
It even had like the
whatsoever.
people walking back and forth carrying something that did not
Yep.
need to be carried in the
Yep.
middle of the
He,
street.
he went
We were
down
just missing like a crate full of chickens.
the guys carrying glass across the road,
Yep.
and yeah, some
Construction workers.
a kid kicking a soccer ball across the road. Oh, we have left out a critical character in this movie, guys. How? How can we leave out our little what did you call him, Dan?
Oh, Aladdin?
The little street rat Aladdin.
Well, I can't remember the kid's name too.
Bezzy.
Fezzy or Bezzy or
Bezzy.
Bezzy.
Oh my god. And you have to talk about him because he's the last thing you see in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do They do the '80s comedy freeze frame at the end, essentially, with this guy.
With no memorable song at the end, though.
No, Bezzy is like a street rat, and they have this like con where they trick tourists into thinking he's being attacked, and Jackson falls for it. He tries to break these two kids up from fighting, and the whole time they've stolen his wallet. All the while, Chuck is sitting over there with a smirk on his face, like, I know what you're doing, kids. I know what you're doing." And this thing plays out the rest of the movie of this kid showing up and ends up he knows where this temple is that they have to go find the demon at. And so he's like their guide for the rest of the movie. He hides in the car during the demon attack. Um and then
He's the guy like an American Ninja.
yeah, he's basically that. And yeah, he's at the end when everybody's okay. Everybody's flying back to Chicago like, hey, we didn't just fight the devil and save this woman from being sacrificed. Oh, we're just hopping on a plane. Jackson's watching the Bulls win the finals on a little TV attached to the wall, and Bezzy's there. And they're having a moment with the kid, and the kid steals his wallet again. And as Jackson yells at him, the kid turns to run away, and the camera freezes on this kid's face. And it's just the most asinine, ridiculous thing. And I couldn't stop laughing. I was losing it.
It was not at all how I expected the movie to like end.
No.
No, it isn't.
I did not expect it.
And I will have to issue a retraction. I had to look up the Canon group to see some of the movies that are on there.
Yeah.
Some of these are pretty horrible, but there's a lot of movies on here that I'm watching and didn't really realize that the Canon group had attachment to.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's some that I'm not familiar with, but I'm looking at some of the actors on them and stuff like that and going, wow, these are actually some pretty, decent actors associated with this stuff. I mean, obviously, like Master of the Universe and Cobra and those that we know for sure. But there's one on here called Runaway Train that had John Voight and Eric Roberts and Rebecca De Mornay and stuff on it, which, big names.
Interesting.
There's one here called Appointment with Death with Peter Ustinov, Carrie Fisher, Lauren Bacall. There's one on here that's got Mickey Rourke in it and Faye Dunaway. Obviously, the Breakin' and Breakin' 2 Electric Boogaloo films are on here.
Our debut of one Mr. Jean-Claude Van Damme in Breakin' 2.
Very good, sir. King Solomon's Mine.
Yep.
Don't dance, Nate. He knocked your phone over.
He knocked his phone over. That was great.
King Solomon's Mines are on there. I love
ceiling.
that. Yeah. American Warrior, or as we know it, American Ninja, But I'm just looking through this going, there's someone here I don't remember ever seeing, or especially didn't know that these people did Canon films as well.
Well, what Canon's
foot in the door
most like kind of famous for, I guess. If no one's watched Electric Boogaloo, on Netflix. That
It's
documentary
really good, yeah.
is
It's so
fantastic.
good.
And of
But
course, the ninja movies with Sho Kosugi, which
yeah,
are my favorite ninja movies.
but
You
how
know,
Canon made money and how a lot of other uh, of those overseas companies that I'm trying to think of the name, the ones that did like Total Recall and a lot of the Arnold
mhm.
ones, Caracola, Caracola, they sold movies before they were ever made. So they sold prospects. We have this script. We have this actor tied to this script. We have this director tied for the script. How much will you give us to um, get distribution rights for this movie? Distribution rights was everything in the 80s. You had
Yeah.
to sell a
Yeah.
movie before a movie would sometimes be made, unless you were like American Hollywood. You had a studio that would put the movie out, then do distribution deals. Um, and that's what happened with Canon. I'm trying to remember. They did a deal, and I don't know if it was Touchstone or another one that starts with a T. They were kind of the company that came in and bought Canon and gave them the money to finish movies like Masters of the Universe and Cyborg. And what they did was they split the distribution rights. So there's a whole nother industry in movie making that a lot of people have no clue. They think somebody has an idea, you go up, you ask a studio for money to make it, they cut a check, they make it, and it goes to the movie theaters. There's this whole other backroom deals, handshake deals, and that's what, you know, uh, Canon was known for. And then they were shrewd businessmen, and they loved their movies. But it could have been any movie. It could have been a movie they didn't actually make themselves, but they got the rights somehow to get it out there, and they
Yeah,
sold it.
they had the rights to Spider-Man. Can you imagine if we
Yeah,
would have got a canon Spider-Man movie?
they tried.
Oh, good
Yeah.
That
lord.
was when they started running out of money.
Yeah, because they
Um,
started just trying to purchase rights to stuff, and it's just like they kind of got ahead of themselves.
See, Masters of the Universe was going to be almost an R-rated Masters of the Universe, but Mattel said no, we're not. You can't do that. So they actually had to backtrack most of what was planned and ready to go for Masters of the Universe to be PG 13. But it was originally going to be an R-rated Masters of the Universe. Can you imagine that? And they were on start for the production of the sequel. The sequel was happening. Costumes, sets, director, most of them had
Well,
come back.
we did get that movie.
We did. It Mattel pulled out and they had to do something because they had all that money sunk into it. We got Cyborg. And that's
Mhm.
why a lot of the same costuming, a lot of the actors and stunt coordinators, stuff like that ended up on Cyborg. Was they had to use the money somewhere.
It's like they
There's your
basically scrambled to make a movie.
yeah. We
Yeah.
otherwise you throw that money away. So why not put it towards? And I think that was also one where they had to get a separate distribution deal with another studio. And I don't have it in front of me because I didn't know we were going to do a deep dive on Canon, which
Yeah,
I think we
no,
could
just
do.
kind of I think
Probably
we
could.
absolutely should. I mean, I'm still looking at stuff. I didn't know they did King Lear, the '87 comedy with Woody Allen, I didn't know they did a movie called Surrender with Sally Field, Steve Guttenberg, and Michael Caine. I'm looking at some of these going, I had no idea.
Because
I thought they were all just
action movies,
American Ninja
Yeah.
and
these
stuff.
like
Yeah,
B quality action movies with a diamond in the rough ever so often.
And they
No,
yeah,
just
yeah,
recently
absolutely.
re-released they did like a collection DVD pack, where it's like you get X amount of movies for
oh, I love
20
those.
bucks.
I love
But
those.
this one's called The Bombs, Babes, and Blockbusters of Canon Films. And it has Missing in Action, Invasion USA, Cobra, Delta Force, Masters of the Universe, Over the Top, Bloodsport, The Hitman, Hellbound, and the Electric Boogaloo documentary.
Yeah.
All of these, which are probably sitting on Charlie's DVD shelf already.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably.
I don't have the Hitman and I don't have Over the Top. And I can go buy the 5-movie canon deal for like $10 at Walmart, but I already own Masters of the Universe, Bloodsport, and there's one other one that I already own. All I would be getting is Over the Top and Hitman for $10, and I feel like I could get a better deal
Yeah.
on another collection.
The babes, when like in all those movies, there's like 0 babes.
I want to see the 1985 film Hot Resort, starring a few people that I don't know who they are, and Bronson Pinchot. That's the one I think I'm going to have to look into.
Don't be ridiculous.
There's one on here called I Monster from '71 that had Christopher Lee and Peter Cushing in it.
Yeah, there you go. That's
Those
Godfathers of horror right there.
Those are some names right there. So yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to really kind of really pay attention to this.
We've kind of made it through the end of the movie, and I want to bookend this movie. Well, we had a crawl at the beginning telling us the prophecy.
Yes.
All through this movie, there's this weird dude in what would you call? What is that outfit he calls? I don't want to say a shroud, but
it's a hooded Jesus outfit.
Dude kind of looks like Jesus looking over everybody.
Yeah, he kind of did.
Spirit Halloween costume.
And
but it looked like a Spirit Halloween version of a Jesus.
Oh,
costume,
definitely. So I kept calling him the Watcher from Highlander, the TV show. They didn't do him in the movies, but in the TV show, they had the guys that watched the immortals but never interfered. And Duncan knew who his was for some reason, and it has a whole big plot line to it. Well, anyway, this guy's always at the scene of something happening, and you see him after either the demon leaves or Chuck Norris leaves. Well, after he destroys the demon, the scepter's broken again into 9 pieces. This guy comes in to collect them, and he has a voiceover of his prophecy or his ending to the story, and it is, "As it was written, from the west again salvation came. 2 soldiers of another kind have confronted and destroyed the beast with his own weapon. So it has been done as passed to me by my father's father. I must take unto myself the shattered scepter of the demon to scatter the elements from whence they came, that neither human's eyes nor heaven's light should ever again fall upon them." And that's what happens when that's being recited while this guy's collecting the scepter pieces. So we kind of get a bookend to this prophecy that these knights from another area, which is, Chuck and Jackson, come in and vanquish the demon.
That's technically Sir Chuck Norris then.
Well, he wasn't knighted.
Well, I mean, if he gets knighted, then it's like a Sir Shattered.
Can a duke knight, or can it only be a king or a queen? That's a good question. Because what's her name's dad was a duke, which made, and the second they showed the demon not as a demon talking to Leslie, and he kept calling her princess, I looked at Jackie and I went, "Well, there's the royal blood we need." And she's like, "Really?" I'm like, "Yeah, watch. He's going to keep calling her princess." And that's all he ever calls her throughout the movie. "Yes, princess, my dear princess." Like, foreshadow over foreshadow for that. I'm like, yeah, we get it. You need royal blood, and you're going to sacrifice her. We understand. Dan's studying something awful hard right there.
He is.
A knighthood and the female equivalent, a damehood, is an award given by the Queen to an individual for a major long-term contribution in any activity, usually at the national or international level.
So I guess it would be king or queen, because right now we have a queen.
Correct.
We don't, but there is a queen. Yeah.
Right. So men are knighted, become Knight Commander of the Most Excellent Order of the British Empire.
I kind of want the
entire title.
How do we get that?
And then I think you'd have to kick ass for a long time and do something.
All right,
easy.
Cool. We'll just keep the podcast
rolling.
So
what, do I get a plane ticket and go?
Yeah, just going over there. And when you get to the gate, the guy will have a big goofy hat on and a machine gun, but just tell him that you're there to see the Queen because you're supposed to be knighted.
You think he's wearing a mask right now?
Done.
Well, probably.
Done.
Probably.
Right?
I'm there.
It might be a mask.
Yeah, probably.
I'll do it. I'll go.
You know why they're going to? You know why they're going to knight you, Charlie?
Why is that?
Because you always put in the time and effort to give us the body count.
Yeah. Body count. Body count. Body count. Body count.
Nate, how was your first time hearing the body count? Being present for the body count.
Absolutely amazing.
Yeah,
I was dying laughing when you guys introduced that segment.
Yeah, well, you should have heard the whole edit as I was trying to edit it, because the body count, there's language in the song itself.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's any body count song.
Charlie's in the background, and so we got those noises. I had to keep.
I'm Stalloning in the background, and I didn't know he was like. I didn't know he could hear me. I don't know what I was thinking, but then all of a sudden he plays that, and I'm in the song, and I was like, "Well, I guess that changes it enough. We can't get sued, so let's go for it."
Yeah, it's brilliant. Charlie, what is said body count in Hellbound?
Okay, so as we've talked about this, there's not a lot about this movie out there on the old interwebs. A handful of articles, which just so happens in the Hellbound Wikipedia, one of the articles is a friend of mine that runs Action Elite website, and he wrote a piece about this, and kind of along the same vein as what we've talked about. So he's going to get a kick out of seeing us do an episode on Hellbound. So, none of my normal sites for body counts had anything on Hellbound, nothing. So I watched the movie 2 more times today.
You watched Hellbound thrice?
I watched it 3 times since last night.
Very nice.
I'm getting my $5 worth. So, the hardest thing to do was figuring out, did the knights actually kill any demons? No.
No, because they came in and just started punching them in the face.
They punched them, kicked them, threw them,
but didn't really sword them.
Where does one hire a demon henchman?
I was wondering that. And why were you not using them throughout finding all the scepter pieces?
Your dirty works.
I was unsure. So what I ended up having to do was, when they grab the main demon and get ready to shove him in the sarcophagus, there are bodies laying on the floor. So I counted the bodies, and I'm trying to do it based off of camera angles.
Sure.
So I counted 6 for that. So I was like, that sounds about right. All the other kills throughout the movie, pretty straightforward. Getting to the end, Jackson kills more demons than Chuck does, because Jackson shoots them with more bullets than a 6-shooter can possibly ever hold.
Well, obviously, but it's a canon action movie, so I kind of let that just go.
There's no reloading.
So it was essentially Chuck flipping a demon or kicking a demon, Jackson punching and shooting, and then we were making the joke earlier that as they would knock a demon down, they would have to run around off camera to fight the other guy. But they do die, because when he kills the demon, they all turn into dust. So again, I'm counting the bodies on the floor. 16 on-screen kills for Hellbound.
Does that include the holy men on screen?
That is my asterisk. Only 7 holy men are mentioned dead off screen, because he kills the one on the train and he kills the rabbi, and there's a total of 9. So there are 7 others we don't see, but 16 plus 7 additional we don't see.
We're going to have to see 6, because he killed the rabbi, the guy on the train, and then the blind guy at the end, the leave guy, he kills him too, because he had the head of the
might be.
scepter.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think I missed that guy.
Yeah,
I was
he
too
had the head of
focused
the
on
scepter.
leave. So 6 off screen.
Correct. Yeah.
6 off screen, and the hooker lived, because I had to put that in here too. She's not one of the dead bodies.
Correct.
So 16 on screen. Oh no. I'm still right. No, I'm still wrong, because that would have been part of my 16, because he is counted in my 16.
Okay.
Him and the rabbi are counted in the 16. So that, there would be 3 that are counted on that, so 6 off screen because we have to have 9.
Right.
That's how flipping confusing this was to do, and why I watched it 3 times.
Yeah,
Why
there was a
didn't you?
whole,
Why didn't you
know,
fast forward, Charlie? You can't fast
No.
forward and find all this out.
No,
This
so
was a Hellbound exclusive then that we just, gave out to the world.
I know. I'm actually probably going to go on these like sites
Yeah.
I use body count.
Nate, jump on the wiki when we're done, Nate, and put a citation on that.
Yeah, definitely.
Credit the podcast. There you go.
That's how we do that, sir. But
that's right. Yeah, put a hot link to the podcast.
No one's going to be like,
drops.
going to fact check that Hellbound. Then they're going to go through and watch the movie 3 times. Be like, huh, son of a bitch, he's right.
No one's as thorough as me.
Once we drop this, Nate, you're going to have to go onto the wiki and hot link it over.
I think it'd be great.
Oh, geez. All right. Well, let's get to the everyone's favorite, the new and improved, revamped Alliong scale. Again, still working on some audio. Maybe some fresh blood with Nate being thrown into the mix.
I will say this morning,
I still need something.
I bought Henchman the Alliong story on Amazon, so I already had Amazon on. I'm like, maybe there's something in here I can grab.
Yeah.
No.
Nothing. Yeah.
Nothing.
All right. So I have to go find Alliong and make him say something for us.
That, or we just
sounds.
Just play the one line he says in Lethal Weapon where he's like, "Sorry, pal." I don't know. So yeah, that's about all I can think of.
Yeah, we'll come up with something. I got it.
But like you said, this is a special edition. This is the new 10 scale.
Correct.
We are going to 10. Now, I'm going to change this up a tiny bit because otherwise this is going to get weird as hell. We need to still stay at only halves. So 10 in half increments.
Okay.
Because if we break into quarters, that's technically 40 different variations that we can put on a movie.
That's cuckoo.
Unless special variations for movies that should be a 10, but they're not a 9.5. We'll talk about it. But the funniest thing is, though, we're upping it to a 10 scale on the Hellbound episode. Not even going to get close to 10.
Nowhere. We could have stayed on the 5 for this one.
That was the joke I was telling.
Nate, with being the new blood, we were going to let you go first. What is your Alliong? You know what, Nate? You are the absolute first person to be able to use the new 10 Alliong scale.
You're right. Man, this is a big honor.
Yeah,
and because it's halves, I can't give it 6.66. So that's disappointing right there.
No,
that's good. No,
that was kind of funny, but no.
But
you
no,
guys,
not going
you guys on the horror movie, you should go up to 6.66 on your scale or something.
Oh, dude, that would just screw everything up.
That would be really.
And for the record, we don't have any of that stuff picked out yet, so we're still working. I have a theme song, and we have our logo. That's where we're at.
It's a good starting point.
You at. All right, Nate. How many Leongs are you going to give the tragedy that was Hellbound?
Would give this like a 4.5, and it would have that potential to be like a 5.5 at tops if I was watching it with like you guys like in the same room or watching it with friends in the same room.
Absolutely.
Because this movie would be 10 times more fun
the buddy
together.
Yes.
It was fun by myself. So just having a group of people doing that Mystery Science Theater where you're all just talking over it, dubbing the voices yourself, doing a better dub than Canon themselves did.
Having beverages.
This would be a blast.
Having some bevies.
Yeah,
well, you say Mystery Science. I actually did look up also in my research to see if Riff Tracks has done this. They have not, but there were 6 votes for them to do it. There's now 7.
Yeah,
nice.
Good.
So Riff Tracks, if you're listening, do Hellbound. Please do Hellbound. We will re-review Hellbound Riff Tracks version.
Yes.
They're not listening. Charlie.
No, I want to go last. You
want to go last?
I want to go last.
All right, I'm giving it 3. 3 Alliangs. That's what I'm giving it.
That's better than that's still better than I thought.
I'm giving it 3, mostly because Jackson cracked me up. I really liked he was pretty funny. And
Leave! His voice cracked.
That earned a Leon right there. But no, like I said, I wanted to hate this movie. I'm watching it going, this movie is dog shit. And I'm watching it going, but I don't hate it. And I don't know if it's because it was a little different and it wasn't just Uzis everywhere and kicks and kicks and Uzis and Uzis and kicks and and the villain was a creepy looking SOB.
I
so
love
that
this villain.
really worked.
Oh, he was
Perfect
awesome.
casting. Perfect.
I liked the Renaissance fair bit at the beginning. That was kind of fun.
Yeah.
But so I'm like, I don't, I'm going to give it 3.
Totally. I messaged Nate this morning going, I cannot wait to hear what Dan says.
Yeah, because I was like, he's going to hate this.
I felt like we put him through hell. I thought he was going to quit the show. He's going to be like, you know what? That's it. Nate, you're in. I'm out.
Look, I will admit,
if Charlie's going to make me watch this kind of stuff, I'm just done with it, is what I was thinking. Because this was like, not the bottom of the barrel. This was like the sewage that's underneath the barrel because it hasn't been moved and there's a dead worm.
I almost prefer really, really, really shitty movies over half-ass shitty movies.
Yeah.
I would rather a movie like Jesus Christ Vampire Hunter is a phenomenal film. I absolutely love that movie.
Oh, dude.
And it's
tomorrow, as of this recording, we get the second Danzig movie. Which,
that's right.
If no one has seen the first movie that he made, Veronica, it is so bad, it's glorious.
Oh.
Yep. Like, I remember I shared that to you that it was coming out. Yes.
So it hits select theaters tomorrow. So when you're going to be hearing this, maybe I've already seen it at that point. I don't know. Trying to figure that out.
He'll have it. He'll have it on the horror movie group if he does.
But yeah, I love those that are like that one. The El Super Bisto.
Oh yeah,
stuff that it's just like, why was this made? Kind of things. I kind of like that, and I don't know if it's because I'm broken or what, but I would rather have a movie that you're just like, ugh, I want to watch it again. Compared to a movie they tried to make good and it's bad.
Yeah. I also think part of it is we are not looking at this movie through rose-colored glasses at all because none of us had watched it already.
Yes.
I could imagine 94, so 14, 15-year-old Charlie probably would have loved this movie just because it's demons and Chuck Norris. Because you guys are shitting on all the other movies I love, like Delta Force 2 and Sidekicks and all this other stuff. So, of course, I'm going to love Hellbound.
They're horrible.
But I think the fact that we all went into this blind, which is the first time we've done that, that's also a pretty big deal.
Pretty cool.
That it was just an experience. And I don't want to take anything away from what Pete and the guys do, but I was almost like, man, I kind of want to, what would be our 6-pack rating on this movie? Like, how many beers is it going to take to make this movie good? And I'll even, it's an homage to Pete. If you're not listening to Good Beer, Bad Movie, go listen to that show.
Oh, absolutely.
It's fantastic.
Although I do need to argue with him next time I have a beer about the movie The Wizard. Because
I know you love The Wizard. Although they did just do Kung Fu Hustle and they all loved it. So it's not always a movie they think is bad that they end up doing. Sometimes they just do a movie that should be bad, but
if I'm not mistaken, Kung Fu Hustle stars Shang-Chi now, right?
Something like that.
Isn't that I'm not sure. You gotta play Shang-Chi in here in Kung Fu Hustle?
Somewhere, probably. I don't know. Or we're being extremely
No, I saw that. No, I saw that he actually was in something like that. I have to look it up now, so I don't sound like a real.
Maybe he was one of the masters or something. I'm not 100% sure. But let me I kept in the back of my mind going like, how many beers would it take for this movie to actually be good? And I'm still going, 3 beers. I think 3 beers. And like Nate said, sitting around with the buddies, this is a movie you just go, has anyone ever seen this? No? Fantastic. Let's put it on and drink. And it's phenomenal. So I'm going to give my rating. So Dan, you did 3. Nate, you did 4.5?
Yep, that's correct.
So my knee-jerk reaction after I watched it last night was somewhere hovering around the 4s. Um, but something weird happened. Jackie and I continued talking about this movie for 30 minutes afterwards as we're getting ready to go to bed. We've never done that on any of the other movies we've reviewed. We've kind of turned it into a little bit of a date night type thing that we watch the movie the night before we record. And she's ragging on it. And I keep going, well, I think I'm going to give it like 5 Allianz. She's like, don't you dare. And then I'll start saying something about the movie and I'm laughing and she's laughing. I go, that made it a 6. And she's like, oh, no, no, do not. It's not a 6. And right before we're settled down, I'm like, yeah, you're right. I think it's a 7. So we kept talking about this movie and I'm like, this movie had an impact on me. That's not normal. I mean, a lot of times I've seen these already and I already have a connection, but I have a new connection with this movie. And I'm like, this is a 5. This is a 5 Alliong on the new 10 scale. Hellbound. It was enjoyable. I've watched it 2 more times. Still just as funny on the parts that made me laugh. Still blown away by the bad guy. God, it was just the best casting. And he's literally, when you can get someone that's legitimately creepy and not just like makeup or overly overdubbed by something completely other than the actor himself. Um, this movie did it for me, and it's canon, and it's Chuck Norris, and it's action movies, and it's horror movies. It's everything that I love. It's a 5. And I've rambled enough now. And
I think that's a
Dan's
really
doing,
solid hot take.
I think so. And Dan's doing some major studying there again.
I was just trying to see about the Kung Fu Hustle thing, but I guess I was wrong. Yeah. I mean, I really thought I saw something on the internet the other day, like a meme or something saying like, this guy,
That's
X,
the
Y, and
problem.
Z
That's the
was
problem with
something. Yeah.
memes is they're probably
Yeah.
making fun of something.
It could have been. Yeah. Like I said,
Has Stephen Chow even done anything recently?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know if he's done anything recent. I know he's done like Shaolin Soccer and Kung Fu Hustle and a few other movies along those lines, but I
He
remember
did like CJ7 back in 2008. I think that was like the last one.
I just
That was,
remember
like,
the very first
states-wide.
time I watched Kung Fu Hustle and I was blown away.
I was in tears laughing so hard
It
the first
was
time.
everything Pete and them talked about in their episode about the knife throwing and everything is exactly where I'm crying when he throws the knife and it sticks in the other dude and then he pulls it out of his arm, goes, I'm sorry, and sticks it back in, and then throws just the handle. Or when he tells him that when the cobra is biting his face, he goes, if I whistle, it'll calm down. Or he goes, if you whistle, it'll calm down. And he sticks his lips out to whistle and it bites down on his
Bites
lips.
his lips.
Tears.
I tell you,
I'm
the
even
one
choked up now is how funny it was.
I tell you, the one that they need to do is Kung Pao Enter the Fist.
God, give us that sequel already.
Yes.
Loved that movie.
Oh my God.
Call me Barbara.
His name is Betty.
Betty, that's it, Betty. Yeah, call me Betty.
We trained him wrong because we thought it'd be funny.
Tonguey. Exactly. Good old tongue.
Man, we've kind of gone off the rails here tonight, boys.
Well, that happens now that we've got Nate with us. So,
yeah,
all right,
this
boys.
Is what happens.
I think we've beat this horse into the ground. Nate, first of all, thanks for coming on to Give Me Back My Action Movies, the podcast.
Well, thank you, sirs.
Welcome you to the family, and looking forward to hearing the first episode of Give Me Back My Horror Movies, which I don't believe is necessarily slated just yet.
Nope.
When that is going to be dropped.
Nope, but it will be sometime in September.
Yeah, it's next month for sure. We just got a lot more ducks to get in a row.
It's coming.
Yeah.
It is coming. All right, let's get into the. Where am I at? Where's my sheet? All right, so as we always do, we like to thank some of our friends that's been there from the beginning, and one of them, of course, is Sludgecast. If you have not listened to Sludgecast yet, please do yourself a favor and go over and check them out.
Dan's getting tired.
Yeah, I'm starting to get all tongue-tied.
Sleepy Dan.
I'll go ahead and I'll fill in the rest.
I'm CP Dan.
I'll fill in the rest of that part. We have a crossover event coming with Sludgecast. You will have to go subscribe to his show. But September
25th, was it?
25th. It's in the
Fifth.
group. We have
I
a
think it's
post.
25th.
Yep.
Um,
So you can hear me destroy another person's podcast.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine. But we are going over onto their show. It'll be our full cast, me and Dan. Nate's not invited because he's too new. And
Oh.
Sludge's 3 people. But I'll ask Sludge, but he's picky about things. Sludge did our intro for the horror movies things. I think I've asked him enough of him lately.
It's
So,
fantastic. I
yeah.
made one, and Charlie's response was, "That's creepy."
I like creepy, but Sludge won. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no,
So-
Sludge is way better. He actually is talented.
So yeah,
I was just messing around.
be on the lookout for more posts, and I think we'll have at least one more show come out before that, maybe
believe
2.
so,
So we'll have
Yep.
more nailed down details about it.
Correct. Also, let's see if I can get this right. Good Beer, Bad Movie Night with Pete and the gang. Check them out wherever you listen to this podcast. You can find theirs as well. We would like to tell you to please, if you're just stumbling across this podcast, to find the Facebook group, the Give Me Back My Action Movie Facebook group, and now the Give Me Back My Horror Movie Facebook group.
Yep.
Both of them are teaming with fanatics that like to really kind of get conversations going, keep conversations going, and it's a lot of fun in those groups. You can subscribe to this podcast on Podbean, with Apple Music or iMusic or whatever the hell they call it now, and pretty much any of your podcast catchers out there so that you don't miss an episode, especially when the horror movies start to drop. Again, like Charlie said, that's going to be on a continuous feed. You will not have to find a new feed. It'll just pop up on there. So
Yep.
Do that as well. Check out the Instagram. Charlie, you run the Instagram.
We have 2. I started
that's
the
true.
Give Me Back My Horror Movies Instagram. So we have Give Me Back My Action Movies Instagram and Give Me Back My Horror Movies Instagram. So
Check
I
those out.
try to stay
Please
active on
subscribe.
those. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And Instagram's it's weird. That's where a lot of the interactions with a lot of the other podcasts that I'm friends with do a lot of their business on, because I'm still fighting the urge to get on Twitter because I don't like it, but everyone else is on Twitter. But Instagram, so far, I can talk to all my friends that do other podcasts, and we can share, and you'll be able to check those guys out as well, because if I'm listening to them, that's pretty much the gold standard as long as I'm listening to them.
The Charlie
Absolutely.
Gold Standard.
Yeah, he'll give you one big Charlie thumbs up.
That's it.
Of course, the commercials that you heard during the episode were, of course, the Sludgecast, the Good Beer Bad Movie Night, but also the Life and Times of Wolfie D.
Yep.
With Jimmy Street. Look them up, give them a listen, and get used to the sound of their voice. Maybe.
A little inside info: Jimmy is my cousin, so
yes,
nepotism is not a thing here.
It is. So check all that out, and of course our good old fashioned Gmail. At this point, we don't really get much on there, but it always pops Pete when I do. gmbmampod@gmail.com. I have rambled enough, boys. I am sleepy.
Yep, I think we've pretty much run it.
Nate, thanks for coming on, man. We will definitely be hearing from you in the future.
Oh, yes.
Do you have anything that you would like to leave our guests with before you left this episode today?
I do.
Go ahead, please.
Chuck Norris
floor is
doesn't
yours.
need a fiddle to defeat a demon.
That's true.
That was pretty good.
You think that demon would have won that fiddle contest? I mean, he was judging it, but whatever, Thanks everyone for listening. We really appreciate it. The podcast is over, so most of you need to
Nice.
But of course, we always leave on this note. Charlie, do you have anything to tell them?
I'll be back.
I knew you'd say that.